Ahead of the Vidhan Sabha polls, the Maharashtra government has announced a complete toll waiver for light motor vehicles at all 5 entry points into Mumbai effective from midnight. The decision was made during today's state cabinet meeting presided over by Maharashtra Chief Minister Eknath Shinde and attended by Deputy Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis and Ajit Pawar and their cabinet colleagues. The toll charge for light motor vehicles at the toll plazas was 45 rupees. Now the waiver applies to toll booths at Dahisar, Mulund, Vashi and Tinhat Naka as well as Airoli. Maharashtra Chief Minister announced in the cabinet meeting that full toll exemption will be given for light motor vehicles at all these 5 toll booths entering Mumbai. Listen in.
निश्चित रूप से इससे उनका समय बचेगा, पोल्यूशन कम होगा और यहाँ पर ट्रैफिक नहीं होगा और इसलिए फ्यूल बचेगा और इसलिए ये बहुत बड़ा एक ऐतिहासिक निर्णय, ये मास्टर स्ट्रोक है। और इसीलिए हम लोग जब पहले लाडली बहन योजना की, लाडला किसान योजना की, लाडला भाई योजना की, अभी ऐसे लाडला हमारा प्रवासी, ये भी योजना हमने कर दी है।
Joining with me is Naresh Maske, Member of Parliament from Maharashtra. सर, महाराष्ट्र कैबिनेट ने आज बहुत बड़ा फैसला लिया है। जो टोल्स हैं मुंबई के आसपास 5 टोल्स, उनको फ्री कर दिया गया है। इलेक्शन से पहले आप समझते हैं कि बहुत बड़ा डिसीजन है मुंबई का?
ये देखो, बहुत बड़ा निर्णय माननीय मुख्यमंत्री एकनाथ शिंदे साहब, उप मुख्यमंत्री देवेंद्र फडणवीस, अजीत दादा और पूरा राज्य मंत्रिमंडल ने लिया है। ये निर्णय लेना कोई आसान बात नहीं है। बम्बई में रहने वाले और बम्बई के आजू बाजू के शहरों में रहने वाले, महाराष्ट्र में रहने वाले लोगों की ये मांग थी, कितने सालों से ये मांग थी कि टोल माफ़ी दो। और ये निर्णय माननीय मुख्यमंत्री एकनाथ शिंदे साहब जी के नेतृत्व में लिया है। हमारे मराठी में कहते हैं कि ऐसा कोई निर्णय लेना येड़ा गबाड़ा का काम नहीं है, इसको धैर्यवान आदमी चाहिए। देखो, लोगों की मांग है और लोगों की मांग पूरी करने के लिए राज्य की तिजोरी के लिए कोई थोड़ी कम हो जाएगी तो कोई फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता। लोगों की डिमांड इम्पोर्टेंट है, लोगों का जो मांग है वो इम्पोर्टेंट। और निर्णय माननीय मुख्यमंत्री एकनाथ शिंदे साहब ने लिया है। पूरे आज देखो तुम महाराष्ट्र में, बम्बई के अंदर के लोग, बम्बई के बाहर के लोग खुश हुए। मैं थाना सिटी में रहता हूँ, मेरे नज़दीक ही बम्बई शहर है। मेरे को हर एक काम के लिए बम्बई शहर में जाना पड़ता है। जब मैं टोल देता हूँ तो मुझे थोड़ा बुरा लगता है कि अरे मैं जाने के लिए पैसा दूँ, लेकिन जो निर्णय लिया है वो लोगों की मांग थी, लोगों की डिमांड थी, वो पूरी करने के लिए माननीय मुख्यमंत्री एकनाथ शिंदे साहब ने ये निर्णय लिया है।
जब कई वर्षों से टोल वसूल के लाखों करोड़ों रुपए आपने एक प्रकार से जनता से ले लिए, तो अब छोटे क्यों बड़े क्यों, सभी को मुफ्त कर दीजिए ना, ये टोल बंद कर दीजिए ना। क्योंकि टोल के पैसे भर भर के लोगों की जेबें खाली हो गई। जो छोटा वाहन चला रहा है, जो बड़ा वाहन चला रहा है, तो सब देश के राज्य के नागरिक ही ना। क्यों परेशान कर रहे हैं आप? एक तो चुनाव के 1 दिन 2 दिन जब डिक्लेयर होने वाला है उसके पहले आप योजना ला रहे हैं। क्या गारंटी है कि ये योजना चुनाव के बाद रहने वाली है? वैसे तो आप सरकार में आने वाले नहीं है, लेकिन आपकी मनसा दुनिया के सामने आ रही है कि आप चुनावी लाभ लेने के लिए ऐसी योजनाओं को लाते हैं।
Well, the opposition there in UBT Sena leader Anand Dubey speaking to media, saying that it's because of the elections that such a move is being entertained, and Chief Minister Eknath Shinde announcing this just a few days before the announcement of dates is to happen. This is not a master stroke, but it is a political stunt. That is what Mr. Anand Dubey was saying there. Well, my colleague Anuj is also now joining us on the broadcast here. Well, reactions coming in from both sides. Anuj, the Chief Minister himself called it a master stroke, but it definitely comes before the Maharashtra Assembly elections are to take place. Well, the date announcement is also going to take place in a day or two. The question here is whether this is going to benefit people or not. And as Mr. Anand Dubey also was pointing out here in that reaction to the media, whether this is going to sustain or stay after the elections or not, that's the big question.
That's the biggest question at the moment, whether the sustainability of the policies and of the schemes which are being brought days before the election or the announcement of the election dates here. But toll has been a contentious issue here, especially in Mumbai, for several years, close to 2 or 3 decades now. These 5 tolls that we are talking about, these are the entry and the exit point, mostly the entry points here in the city from the close by districts. And ever since the late 90s and the early 2000s, when the influx of people started going up on a daily basis, several flyovers were constructed under the leadership of the current road minister, who is Nitin Gadkari, who was back then heading the Maharashtra Road Transport Corporation. And to kind of compensate for the 55 to 60 flyovers which were built in the city, as many as five toll nakas were commissioned at different points of the city, be it Daisar, be it Mulund, Vashi, Airoli Creek, etc. And these were the tolls which had been contentious for the longest period of time. Several activists and several commuters had stressed on the fact how the compensation for the construction of all of these flyovers had actually, in fact, gotten over in the 10 days, in the 10 years after the after the introduction of these tolls only. That is just 2012. But then there were also allegations on different governments, whichever party came to the power, on keeping these tolls alive just to kind of fill their pockets. In fact, it was Chief Minister Eknath Shinde himself who last year in the Vidhan Parishad said that they've extended the duration of these tolls till 2027. And it is quite interesting that 1 year after the statement given by him, he, right a few days, if not a few hours before the announcement of the election dates, cancels all of those tolls for the light motor vehicles. And that becomes an important point as well. Tolls have always been a very political issue here in Maharashtra, especially when you talk about a party like MNS, Maharashtra Navnirman Sena, or even the UBT faction of Shiv Sena, or even before the split, the unified Shiv Sena. They had been focusing on tolls as an important political issue, and there were movements across the state, not just necessarily
Okay,
in Mumbai, but across the state, which
seems like
asked
a
for
ploy to
the
catch
government to
votes.
take down the tolls.
Going by what you're saying, well, it looks like, well, the political parties are using this issue and, providing toll waiver to people. And this, of course, this decision now that has been taken by the Maharashtra government coming just right before the elections, looks like they're trying to woo the voters, of course, and try to catch some more votes. But how this really turns out, that remains to be seen.